When you launch Word from the Start menu, or from the taskbar, you are opening the desktop version. This is the full version of Word with all its features. In the past, this meant you were tied to your PC. You bought a license, installed Word, and worked only with files stored on your computer. But things have changed. We now have cloud storage and online apps that let you work anywhere. This is where Word Online comes in. If you have a Microsoft 365 subscription, you not only get the desktop apps, but also an online portal with web versions of those apps. To access it, open your browser and go to office.com. If you've logged in before, you'll go straight to the Microsoft 365 portal. If not, sign in with the email and password linked to your subscription. Once you're in, this is your online hub. Click the app launcher in the top left corner. From here, you can open the online version of Word. It will open in a new browser tab. For example, I'll open a document that I originally created this in the desktop version, but I can still access it here in Word Online. Now, let's compare the two versions. Word Online looks a little different. It has fewer ribbons and fewer advanced features. For example, in the desktop version, the Mailings tab lets you do things like mail merge. That tab does not exist in Word Online. So, the key difference. Word Desktop gives you the full set of features. Word Online is simplified for working on the go. You can work anywhere as long as you have the internet and a browser. And if you save your documents in OneDrive, you also get powerful collaboration tools, which we'll cover later in this course. In this training, we'll mainly use Word Desktop, but we'll look at Word Online when needed. If you have a Microsoft 365 subscription, and you're signed into the online portal, you'll notice an option to install the desktop apps. On the main page of the portal, click Install Apps. Then select Microsoft 365 Apps. This will download and install the desktop versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other apps included in your subscription. Once installed, you can open Word from the Start menu. I'm using Windows 11, but if you're on Windows 10 or an earlier version, the steps might look slightly different. In Windows 11, go to the Start menu and use the search bar at the top to find Word. At this point, I recommend pinning Word to your taskbar for quick access. To do that, right-click on the Word icon and choose Pin to Taskbar. Once pinned, you'll see the icon at the bottom of your screen, making it easy to open Word anytime. Click the icon, and Word will open to the Start screen. On the Start screen, you'll find a few important sections. First is the Home page. Here, you can create a new document or open an existing one. If you want to create something new, choose Blank Document or select one of the ready-made templates. We'll talk more about templates later. Below that is the Recent Documents list. If Word is newly installed, this will be empty at first. You can also import documents to Favorites. Click the Start shaft next to the document and it will be added to Favorites. Next, you have the New tab, where you can start a blank document or search for templates. The Open tab lets you open files from your computer, OneDrive, or even a SharePoint site. Speaking of OneDrive, your Microsoft 365 subscription includes cloud storage. It's usually set up automatically. If you don't see OneDrive listed, click Add a Place. Sign in with your Microsoft account, and it will appear here. Now, a few more things to note on this screen. You have an account section, where you can check for updates. One big benefit of Microsoft 365 is that you'll always have the latest version of Word, because updates happen automatically. You can also personalize your experience. Change your profile picture. Select a different office background. Or switch to a different theme like dark gray, black, or white, if you prefer something easier on your eyes. Finally, you have access to Word options, where you can customize Word in detail. We'll explore these options later in the course. So now, we've successfully launched Word and explored the Start screen. At the very top, you'll see the blue bar called the title bar. On the left side of this bar, you'll notice the document name. Since we haven't saved it yet, it's called Document 1 by default. Once you save it, the name will update automatically. In Word 365, saving is easier than ever because you can click the document name in the title bar to open the Save As window instead of going through the File menu. In the middle of the title bar, you'll see a search box. When you hover over it, a small description called a screen tip appears, telling you what this feature does, and even showing a shortcut if available. You can type here to find any command or feature quickly. On the right side of the title bar, you'll see your profile picture and name. Clicking here allows you to manage your Microsoft account, switch to another account, or sign out. Just beside this section, in the top right corner, you'll see 3 buttons: Minimize, Restore, and Close. Remember that the Close button shuts down the entire Word application, not just the document. Below the title bar is the ribbon. The ribbon is a set of menus that contains all the commands you'll use in Word. For example, the Home tab in the ribbon contains groups like Font, Paragraph, and Styles, and each group has related commands. Above the ribbon, you'll find the Quick Access toolbar. This contains commands like Autosave, Undo, Redo, and Save. You can customize this toolbar by adding commands that you use frequently. The main part of the screen is the document area, where your text appears. You'll also notice margins around the page, which can be adjusted later. Rulers are another useful tool for working with layouts, tabs, and indents. To turn them on, go to the View tab on the ribbon and check the ruler option in the Show group. Once you enable it, you'll see both horizontal and vertical rulers around the document. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the status bar. This area displays helpful information such as the current page number and the total word count. If you click the status bar, you can see information appears here. On the far right of the status bar, you'll find buttons to switch between different views like Print Layout, Read Mode, and Web Layout, along with a zoom slider to adjust how your document looks on the screen. Finally, when you click the File tab, you open what's called Backstage View. This is where you can create new documents, open existing ones, save your work, print, share, and export files. Earlier, when we explored the Word interface, we briefly mentioned this toolbar. If you recall, it's that little toolbar located near the top of the window. At the time, I said we'd come back to it later, and that time is now. By default, the Quick Access toolbar contains 4 commands: Autosave, Save, Undo, Redo. These are essential commands you'll likely use often. For example, right now the autosave option is off. If you toggle the option on, Word will keep saving changes automatically, so you don't need to remember to manually save. The Undo button lets you reverse your last action, which is a lifesaver when editing. The Redo button does the opposite, it repeats the last action. And of course, we have the Save button. Now, let's look at customizing it. At the end of the Quick Access toolbar, you'll notice a small drop-down arrow that says Customize Quick Access Toolbar. Click on it, and you'll see a menu. Some items in the menu have ticks next to them. Those are the commands currently on the toolbar. You'll see Redo, Undo, Save, and Autosave. Below, you'll see other suggested commands, such as New Document. If you click New, it adds that icon to the toolbar. Clicking it will create a brand new document instantly. Very convenient. Now, the list in this menu doesn't show all commands in Word. To add commands from a ribbon, just right-click on the command and choose Add to Quick Access Toolbar. For example, if I go to the Insert tab and often use shapes, I can right-click on Shapes and choose Add to Quick Access Toolbar. That's it, now it's added. To remove a command, right-click it on the toolbar and choose Remove from Quick Access Toolbar. There's another way to customize the toolbar for more control. Click the drop-down again, and at the bottom select More Commands. This opens Word options directly to the Quick Access Toolbar settings. On the right, you'll see your current toolbar commands. On the left, you can choose what to add. By default, it shows popular commands, but you can switch to all commands for the full list. Once the list loads, you'll see every command in alphabetical order. To add one, select it and click Add. For example, I'll add Autofit columns. Want to organize them? Add separators. At the top of every list, you'll find a separator option. Add it, then move it up or down to visually group similar commands together. Once you're happy, click OK, and your toolbar updates. You'll even see faint lines where the separators are. One last tip, if you don't like the toolbar above the ribbon, you can move it below the ribbon by selecting Show Below the Ribbon. Don't want it at all? You can choose Hide Quick Access Toolbar. To bring it back, go to the right corner, click Ribbon Display Options, and select Show Quick Access Toolbar. Here's the first shortcut. Type equals rand. Open a bracket. Specify how many paragraphs, comma, and then how many lines. Close the bracket and press Enter. This will insert 10 paragraphs of 5 lines each. A quick and easy way to get sample text into your document. Let's start with some basic formatting shortcuts. To select all text, press Ctrl A. To make text bold, press Ctrl B. To italicize, press Ctrl I. To underline, press Ctrl U. Press the same shortcut again to remove the formatting. For example, Ctrl B will remove bold. Click away to deselect everything. You can also see many shortcuts by hovering your mouse over a command. For example, hover over bold on the home ribbon, you'll see Ctrl+B in brackets. But not all commands show shortcuts, so keep that in mind. There are hundreds of shortcuts in Word, but you'll probably use around 15 to 20 regularly. Here are some essential ones. To create a new document, Ctrl N. To save your document, Ctrl S. To print, Ctrl P. To close the current document, Ctrl W. If you want the full list of keyboard shortcuts, you can find it in the Help section. Press Alt-Q to move your cursor to the search bar at the top. Type keyboard shortcuts. You'll see a section called Get Help with a link to keyboard shortcuts in Word. Click on it, and you'll find a complete list, organized by category. For example, you can check the most frequently used shortcuts, or shortcuts for navigation. Speaking of navigation, here are some I use all the time. Ctrl plus down arrow, jump to the next paragraph. Ctrl plus up arrow, jump to the previous paragraph. Ctrl plus end, jump to the end of the document. Ctrl plus home, jump to the top of the document. What if I want to select a paragraph? Press Ctrl Shift plus down arrow to select down. Ctrl Shift plus up arrow to select upward. Then apply formatting like bold with Ctrl B. If you want to select sentence by sentence, use Shift plus down arrow repeatedly. To move word by word, use Ctrl plus right arrow or Ctrl plus left arrow. You can also select text quickly with the mouse. Click in the margin next to a sentence to select it. Double-click in the margin to select a whole paragraph. Now, one last powerful feature, Alt key tips. Press the Alt key on your keyboard. Notice that letters appear on the ribbons. Each letter represents a shortcut to open a ribbon tab. For example, to insert a shape, press Alt, then N for the Insert ribbon, then SH for Shapes. Use arrow keys to pick a shape, then press Enter. As you work more in Word, you'll quickly learn which shortcuts you use most often, and soon they'll become second nature. Let's type something in our document and spell a word incorrectly. For example, I'll type welcome with 2 E's. As soon as I press the spacebar, you'll notice that the word gets a red squiggly underline. That tells me I made a spelling error. The quickest way to fix this is to hover your mouse over the word, right-click, and look at the spelling menu. Here, you'll see a list of alternatives. I can see the correct spelling, welcome. Click it, and the word is corrected automatically. So, check spelling as you type is extremely useful. It also checks grammar as you type. Let's try another example. Type this sentence, welcome to a Microsoft Word course. That's not a well-constructed sentence, and you'll see a blue double underline under the word in. That indicates a grammar error. Again, right-click the word, and you'll see grammar suggestions. In this case, it suggests using a instead of an. If I choose that, my sentence becomes welcome to a Microsoft Word course. Much better. So, this feature checks both spelling and grammar as you type. But what if this isn't working for you? If misspelled words are not being flagged, you need to check the settings. Here's how. Go to File, then scroll down to Options. In Word Options, click Proofing. This is where you'll find everything related to spell check. Look for the section when correcting spelling and grammar in Word. Make sure you have these 2 boxes checked. Check spelling as you type. Mark grammar errors as you type. If either of these is unchecked, the feature won't work. Once they're selected, click OK, and you're all set. Templates are like blueprints for your documents, and they can save you a lot of time and effort. Now, to access templates, we simply need to go up to the File menu and go to the New section. At the bottom here, you'll see we have 2 headings, Office and Personal. Underneath the Office tab, this is where you're going to find a selection of all of Microsoft's Office templates. All of the templates you see in here are divided down into categories to make them easier to find. Notice underneath the search bar, where we have suggested searches, we can see some of those categories. For example, if we're looking for a resume template, we can click on Resumes and Cover Letters. This is going to give us access to that library. Now, let's click on back just for a moment. If we know a template that we're specifically looking for, this is where we can use the search bar. If I need to create an invoice, I can type an invoice, press enter, and it's going to return all of the results that match that keyword. Really nice and simple. If you're wondering what the difference is between the Office tab and the Personal tab, this is related to saving templates. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's first load up a template and make some changes to it. We'll go down to Resumes and Cover Letters. Let's scroll down and choose this one right here. Click once, and it's going to open up a little window that provides a bit more information about this template. We can see that this template is provided by Microsoft Corporation. We also get a description and a larger preview so we can determine if this is exactly what we want. Once we're happy, we can click on the Create button to open that template in Word. Now, notice here in the title bar, it's just loaded this up as document 16. This is one thing you need to understand about templates: they are designed to be reused. Every time I want to create a resume, whether it's for me or for somebody else, I could load up this template and make the changes. We save templates in a slightly different way than saving Word documents. Before we save this, let's make some changes. Currently, this template has a gray and white theme. If I wanted to change all of the colors in this template, I could do that by changing the theme. If we go up to the Design tab, notice we have a Themes group here. If I change the theme to something like Office Theme, you can see the colors change. I could also change individual elements by selecting them and going to the Home tab. From there, I could change the font color to something completely different if I want to. I could type in a name, maybe this is going to be Mary Beth. I could make that change. I'm also probably going to want to switch out the picture and replace it with my own image. We can definitely do that, but for now, we'll leave it as the default. The main thing I want to show you here is how to save a template. As I mentioned, this works slightly differently. If we go up to File and into Save As, I'm going to click on Browse to jump into File Explorer. Notice that by default, it jumps to my Documents folder in OneDrive. Now, I could save my template in here, but we don't want to save it as a docx file. We want to save this as a template instead. So, click the Save as Type drop-down and choose Word Template from the menu. Notice what happens to the folder location as soon as I make this selection. It jumps across to the Custom Office Templates folder. I always recommend saving into this default folder. Let's call this Mary Beth CV and click Save. Now, if we close this file down and later want to use that template to create a resume, we can go to File, then New. When we click on the Personal tab, we should see our template there. That's because we saved this template into that Custom Templates folder. If we had just saved it in OneDrive Documents, we wouldn't be able to access it through here. Now that it's under Personal, I can simply click on it again. Notice it opens as Document 18. Any changes I make here will not overwrite the template. This is going to be a brand new document. So effectively, I can reuse that template over and over again. Now, let's add some random text. Type equals rand, 23, and press Enter. This will insert 20 paragraphs with 3 lines each. Press Ctrl plus Home to jump to the top of the document. Notice in the title bar, the document is not yet saved. It just says Document 22. Look at the Quick Access toolbar. You'll see that Autosave is turned off. The reason Autosave is off is because we haven't saved this document yet. As soon as we save it, Autosave will turn on automatically. This means any changes we make will be saved automatically to the file. No more pressing Ctrl plus S or clicking the Save button every time. When saving a file for the first time, click the File tab. Then select Save As. Here, you'll see a few options. At the top, you might see OneDrive and SharePoint. If you haven't set those up, you can click Add a Place. This lets you add your file storage system. I'm going to save my file in OneDrive. I'll choose my personal folder. Then FCO folder. Now, I'll type a file name, my first document. Notice the default file extension is .docs. Click Save. Now, look at the autosave toggle in the toolbar. It's turned on. If I make changes, like deleting something, you can also see the word saving in the title bar. And when it's done, it says saved. If I want to rename the document, I don't need to use Save As. Just click on the title at the top and type a new name. For example, I'll change my first document to my second document. You can see it is updating the name. This renames the file, not creates a copy. Now let's close the document. Click File, then Close. If closes the application of Word as well, then go to Start and reopen Word application. Look under Recent Documents. You'll see my second document. Click to open it. That's how you save a Word document. Now, let's talk about saving to OneDrive and why it's useful. I saved my second document into a OneDrive folder. Click the title bar and you can see the file path in OneDrive. Because it's saved in OneDrive, I can access it anywhere using the Microsoft 365 online portal. As long as I have an internet connection, I can open and edit the document from a web browser. For example, I can log into office.com using my email and password. On the homepage, under Recommended, I'll see my recent document, my second document. If want to learn OneDrive in details, click this link. There is a whole playlist. This is the power of saving to OneDrive. Everything syncs, and you can access your files from anywhere. On the right side of your Word window, you'll see the vertical scroll bar. This allows you to move up and down through your document. You can click and drag the slider to jump quickly between sections, or click above and below the slider to move one screen at a time. If you prefer smaller steps, use the little up and down arrows. When your content is wider than the window, you'll also see a horizontal scroll bar at the bottom of the screen. Simply drag it left or right to view wide tables or other content that doesn't fit on the page. You can also use your mouse wheel or touchpad to scroll more smoothly. And don't forget, the page up and page down keys on your keyboard are another quick way to move one screen at a time. Now, let's move on to the navigation pane, which offers a more advanced way to get around. To open it, go to the View tab on the ribbon and, in the Show group, check the box labeled Navigation Pane. The pane will appear on the left side of your screen. The navigation pane is especially powerful if your document uses headings. Each heading will appear as a clickable item in the pane, so you can jump directly to that section with a single click. At the top, you'll also find a search box. Just type in a word or phrase, press enter, and the pane will show you every match in the document. If your headings aren't showing up, simply apply heading styles from the Home tab, such as Heading 1 or Heading 2. Once applied, those headings will appear automatically in the navigation pane. Here's a quick tip: use the navigation pane for big jumps across your document, and then use the scroll bar for finer adjustments. Combining the two makes navigating even the longest documents quick and efficient. We're going to learn how to quickly search through a document in Microsoft Word using three powerful tools: Find, Replace, and Go To. To use it, press Ctrl+F on Windows or Command+F on a Mac. A search pane will appear on the left side of your screen. In the search box, type the word or phrase you want to look for. Word will highlight every occurrence, and you can move through them one by one using the up and down arrows. You can also access Find from the Home tab in the Editing group. There are a few extra options to make your search more precise. For example, you can use Match Case to find text with the exact capitalization you typed. Or, enable Find Whole Words only to make sure you're finding just the word cat and not part of a longer word like catalog. Now let's move on to Replace. Replace is like Find, but even more powerful because it lets you substitute text with something new. To use it, press Ctrl+H on Windows or Command+H on Mac. The Find and Replace dialog box will open. In the Find With field, type the text you want to locate. In the Replace With field, type the text you want to insert instead. Then click Find Next to jump to the first match. You can choose Replace to change just that one, or Replace All to change every single occurrence in the document. Find and Replace can also handle formatting. Click the More button in the dialog box, and you'll see options to search for specific formatting, like bold or italics. You can even use Replace formatting to change styles, for example converting all italic text into normal text in one step. Finally, let's look at the Go To feature. Go To lets you jump directly to a particular location in your document, which is much faster than scrolling. To use it, press Ctrl+G on Windows or Command+G on Mac. You can also access it by going to the Home tab, clicking Find, and selecting Go To. A dialog box will appear where you can choose exactly where you want to go. For example, type in a page number to jump directly to that page. You can also go to a section, a line number, a bookmark, or even a specific footnote or endnote. If you're working on a long report and need to go straight to page 12, simply type page 12 and Word will take you there instantly. So, to recap. Use Find to quickly locate words or phrases. Use Replace to swap them out or change formatting. And use Go To when you want to jump directly to a specific place in your document. Mastering these tools will save you time and make working with long documents much easier. Whenever you make a mistake, like accidentally deleting text, applying the wrong formatting, or making any unwanted change, you can reverse it right away. To undo your last action, click the Undo button in the top left corner of the Word window. It looks like a curved arrow pointing left. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+Z on Windows or Command+Z on a Mac. Each click of the undo button or each press of the shortcut reverses the last action one step at a time. Keep pressing or clicking to move back through several recent changes. If you want to jump back several steps at once, click the small drop-down arrow next to the undo button and choose the point you want to return to. Now, let's say you undo something but then realize you actually wanted to keep it. That's where redo comes in. Click the redo button, which sits right next to undo, and looks like a curved arrow pointing right. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+Y on Windows, or Command+Y on Mac to restore the action you just undid. Just like undo, you can keep clicking redo or pressing the shortcut to bring back multiple actions in sequence. Here's a quick example. If you delete a paragraph by mistake, press Ctrl+Z once to bring it back. If you then decide you did want to remove it after all, press Ctrl+Y to redo the deletion. Alignment refers to how your text is positioned within a paragraph. While left alignment is the default for most documents, Word also gives you options to center, right align, or justify your text. Let's walk through each of these so you can see when and how to use them. Let's start with left alignment, which is the default in Word. In left-aligned text, everything starts neatly at the left edge of the page, while the right edge remains uneven. This style is used most often for body text and general documents. To apply it, simply select the paragraph you want, then go to the Home tab, and in the Paragraph group, click the Align Left button. You can also use the shortcut Ctrl+L on Windows or Command+L on Mac to do it even faster. Next is center alignment. Centering places your text right in the middle of the page, which is great for titles, headings, and formal announcements. To center your text, select the text and click the Center button in the Paragraph group. Or use the shortcut Ctrl+E on Windows or Command+E on Mac. Now let's look at right alignment. This option pushes your text against the right edge of the page, leaving the left edge uneven. Right alignment is less common, but it's useful for things like dates, certain headings, or when formatting resumes. To apply it, highlight your text and click the Align Right button. Or press Ctrl+R on Windows or Command+R on Mac. Finally, we have Justify alignment. Justified text stretches evenly from the left margin to the right margin, giving your document a neat and professional look. To justify your text, select the paragraph and click the Justify button. Or use the shortcut Ctrl+J on Windows or Command+J on Mac. To increase the indent of a paragraph, select the text with your mouse so it's highlighted. Then, from the Home ribbon, go to the Paragraph group. Click the Increase Indent icon. This moves the whole paragraph inward and makes the page easier to scan. To decrease the indent, click the other icon with arrow pointing towards right. Next, the first line indent. To add a first line indent, select the paragraph you want to change. Click the Expand icon under the Paragraph section of the Home ribbon to open the Paragraph dialog box. Under Indentation, open the special drop-down, choose First Line, increase or decrease the indent. The preview can be seen in the preview box. And then click OK. Finally, the hanging indent. Hanging indents push every line except the first one inward. To create a hanging indent, select the paragraph you want to change. Open the paragraph dialog box the same way. Go to Indentation, and in the special drop-down choose Hanging. The preview can be seen in the preview box. Increase or decrease the indent. Click OK to apply it. Let's start with changing the font size. To adjust the size, select the text you want to change. On the Home tab, in the Font group, you'll see a box for font size. Click the drop-down arrow and pick the size you want, or type a number directly into the box and press Enter. If you just want to make quick adjustments, use the Increase Font Size or Decrease Font Size buttons, shown with a big A and a small a with arrows. Each click will raise or lower the size step by step. Now let's move on to changing the font style or the font. The font is simply the typeface used to display your text. To change the font, first select the text you want to modify. Then, go to the Home tab on the ribbon and look for the font group. Click the drop-down menu for fonts, and you'll see a full list of available styles. You can scroll through the list or type the name of a font if you know it. Once you click on the font you want, Word will instantly apply it to your selected text. Finally, let's talk about changing the font color. This is a great way to highlight key points or add personality to your document, but it's best used carefully so your text stays easy to read. To change the color, first select the text. On the Home tab, in the Font group, look for the Font Color button. It's represented by the letter A with a colored bar underneath. Click the drop-down arrow next to it, and you'll see a color palette. Choose from the available colors, or click on More Colors if you'd like more advanced options or want to create a custom shade. As soon as you make your selection, the new color will be applied. And that's it! You've now learned how to change fonts, sizes, and colors in Microsoft Word. Let's begin with bold. Bold text makes characters thicker and more noticeable, helping them stand out in a paragraph. To apply bold, first select the text you want to format. Then, go to the Home tab on the ribbon and click the Bold button, which looks like a capital B. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+B on Windows or Command+B on a Mac. Now let's move to italics. Italicized text tilts slightly to the right and is often used for emphasis, book titles, or foreign words. To apply italics, select your text, then click the Italic button in the Home tab, which is represented by a slanted I. The shortcut for italics is Ctrl+I on Windows or Command+I on Mac. Next, let's talk about underline. Underlining places a line beneath your text and can be used to emphasize key points. To underline text, select it, then click the Underline button in the Home tab, shown as a capital U with a line under it. You can also press Ctrl+U on Windows or Command+U on a Mac. Another useful effect is strike-through. This draws a line through the middle of your text, often used to show something is deleted or completed. To apply strike-through, select your text, then click the strike-through button in the Home tab. Now let's look at subscript and superscript. These are often used in math, science, or footnotes. Superscript makes the text smaller and raises it above the line. To apply them, select your text and then the Home tab. From the Font group, select Superscript. You can also use shortcut. For superscript it is Ctrl+Shift= on Windows. Subscript makes the text smaller and lowers it below the line. To apply them, select your text and then the Home tab. From the font group, Subscript. Finally, let's talk about highlighting. Highlighting text is a great way to draw attention to keywords, phrases, or important parts of your document. To highlight, select your text, then go to the Home tab and click the Text Highlight Color button, which looks like a marker. Clicking it will apply the default color, usually yellow. If you want more options, click the drop-down arrow to pick from different highlight colors. All these options except highlight can also be found in the detailed menu of font. Click on the small arrow in the right corner of the font group, and you can see the superscript, subscript, and other options like double strike and others. These simple skills are the foundation for everything else you'll do when creating a document. Let's start with typing text. Typing in Word is straightforward. First, open your document and click anywhere in the blank area. You'll see a blinking vertical line called the cursor. Wherever the cursor is, that's where your text will appear. Just start typing on your keyboard, and the words will be inserted right at that spot. If you want to begin a new line or paragraph, simply press the Enter key. Now let's look at deleting text. Sometimes you'll make a mistake or want to remove part of your writing. There are a few easy ways to do this. If you press the backspace key, Word deletes the character just before the cursor. Hold it down to keep deleting continuously. The delete key works in the opposite direction. It removes the character right after the cursor. Again, if you hold it down, it keeps deleting forward. And if you want to remove a whole word, sentence, or even a paragraph, you can select the text first and then press either backspace or delete. Finally, let's talk about selecting text. Selecting is important because it lets you do more than just delete. You can also copy, cut, or apply formatting. There are a few simple methods. With your mouse, click at the start of the text, hold the left mouse button, and drag across the words until everything you want is highlighted. You can also use the Shift key and arrow keys. Place the cursor where you want to start, hold Shift, and tap the arrow keys to extend the selection. And if you want to highlight the entire document in one step, just press Ctrl+A on Windows or Command+A on Mac. Let's start with Cut. The Cut function removes selected text from its original location and stores it on the clipboard so you can paste it somewhere else. To cut text, first select the part you want to move. Then, either right-click and choose Cut. Now move your cursor to the new location and right-click. Choose the Paste option from the menu. To cut the text using the keyboard, first select the text, and use the shortcut Ctrl+X on Windows or Command+X on Mac. Now move your cursor to the new location and press Ctrl+V or Command+V to paste it there. Next, let's look at Copy. Copy works almost the same as Cut, but instead of removing the text, it creates a duplicate. To copy the text, first select the part you want to copy. Then, either right-click and choose Copy. Now move your cursor to the new location and right-click. Choose the Paste option from the menu. To copy the text using the keyboard, first select the text, and use the shortcut Ctrl+C on Windows or Command+C on a Mac. Now move your cursor to the new location and press Ctrl+V or Command+V to paste it there. This is perfect when you want the same text in multiple places. Now let's focus on paste and its powerful options. When you copy text with Ctrl+C on Windows or Command+C on a Mac, Word stores that text on something called the clipboard. Then, when you paste with Ctrl+V or Command+V, the text is inserted wherever your cursor is. But here's the key. Word doesn't just paste in one way, it gives you several choices. Right after you paste, you'll notice a small clipboard icon appear near your text. That's the Paste Options button. Click it, and you'll see multiple choices that affect how the text appears. The first option is Keep Source Formatting. This means the pasted text keeps all of its original style, its font, size, bold, italics, and even colors. If the text was bold, italic, and green in the original, it will remain bold, italic, and green in the new location. This is useful when you want to preserve the exact look of the text you copied. The next option is Merge Formatting. This one blends the pasted text into the style of your document while still keeping emphasis like bold or italics. So if your document is written in Aptus and black text, but the copied text came from somewhere with a different font or color, Merge Formatting will make it look like the rest of your document while preserving emphasis like bold and italic. Then we have Keep Text Only. This strips away all formatting and pastes just the words. No bold, no italics, no colors, just plain text that automatically matches the style of the paragraph you pasted into. This is very handy if you're copying from a website or PDF that has messy or inconsistent formatting. Now, there's another option that many people overlook, Paste as Picture. Instead of pasting text that can be edited, Word lets you paste it as an image. To do this, copy your text, and from the contextual menu select the third option. When you paste as a picture, the text is converted into an image. This means you can move it around, resize it, and even apply picture formatting like borders, shadows, or effects. It's especially useful if you want to lock a heading or a snippet of styled text so that no one else can accidentally edit it. Just remember that once text is pasted as a picture, you can't change the words, it's no longer editable text. You can also find these same paste options in the Home tab under the Paste drop-down menu. Margins control the empty space around your document text. To adjust them, go to the Layout tab. Click on Margins, and you will see options like Normal, Narrow, Moderate, Wide, Mirrored, and Office Default. The size of top, bottom, right, and left margins are given in front of each option. Select one to apply it instantly. For full control, click Custom Margins at the bottom. This will open Page Setup window. On Margins tab, set exact values for top, bottom, left, and right. Next, let's look at Orientation. Still in the Layout tab, click on Orientation. You can choose between Portrait and Landscape. Portrait is vertical, and Landscape is horizontal. Pick the one that suits your document. Now, Page Size. Click Size in the Layout tab. Common options include letter, legal, and A4. If you need something specific, choose more paper sizes. Set custom width and height, then click OK. That's it for margins, orientation, and size. With these settings, your document layout is fully under your control. A page break moves text to a new page. In our document, the open file currently has one page. On the status bar, you can check the page number. To insert another page, place your cursor where you want the break. Go to the Insert tab, then click Page Break. You can also press Ctrl plus Enter on your keyboard. Now the cursor is blinking on page 2, and you can see the page number on the status bar. Now, let's explore section breaks. For practice, let's write some text. I want page 1 to be in portrait layout, while page 2 is in landscape mode. For this, I need to insert section breaks. Section breaks divide your document into parts. They allow different headers, footers, margins, or layouts. To insert one, place your cursor at the beginning of page 2. Then go to the Layout tab, click on the small arrow next to breaks, and choose a section type. Next page creates a new section on the next page. Continuous starts a new section on the same page. Even page begins the section on the next even page. Odd page begins it on the next odd page. For this example, select Continuous. Now let's change the orientation for page 2. You can notice that both pages now have different orientations. Section breaks are powerful when working with long documents, reports, or books. A header is the text or image that appears at the top of each page automatically once added to the document. This is a long document of 11 pages. Let us add a header to this document. For that, go to the Insert tab. Click Header. Many styles are given. Choose a style according to your requirements. Type your text, such as a title or author name. Now let us quickly add a footer. The process is almost the same. Go to the Insert tab. This time, select Footer. Choose the style. Edit it. And done. Now, let's add page numbers. To add page numbers to each page in the document, go to the Insert tab. Click Page Number. Choose where you want the page number to appear. Choose Top of Page, Bottom of Page, or Page Margins. Select a style and it will appear automatically. If you want to format page numbers, click Format Page Numbers. Here, you can change the number style, like Roman numerals or letters. You can also set the starting number. To close the header and footer, click Close Header and Footer. Or double-click outside the area. Headers, footers, and page numbers make your documents professional and organized. Columns are often used in newsletters, magazines, and brochures. To add them to the text, click inside the text or select the text. Go to the Layout tab. Click Columns and choose 1, 2, or 3. You can also choose left or right for uneven layouts. For full control, click More Columns. Here, you can set the number of columns by increasing or decreasing the number. You can choose whether to apply it to the whole document or only the selected text. Once columns are applied, type your text normally. Word will flow it from one column to the next. To add a column break, place your cursor where you want to end the column. Go to Layout. Click Breaks. Select Column. This forces the text to move into the next column. Formatting columns is simple. You can adjust width and spacing by opening more columns again. You can draw a line between columns. Just check the box line between if you want a vertical line between columns. Columns help organize content and improve readability. A theme controls the overall look of your document, including colors, fonts, and effects. To apply a theme to your document, go to the Design tab. Click Themes to open the gallery and hover to preview each theme in your document. Click a theme to apply it. To save your custom theme, click the Themes drop-down and choose Save Current Theme. The colors can also be customized. To change the colors, click Colors. There are many predefined sets of colors. Select one from them, or for further customization, click Customize Colors. Set colors for text, background, accent colors, and hyperlinks. Give your colors set a name and save. The same way, you can change fonts within a theme. Click Fonts and select a font from the list. Or you can further customize fonts. For that, click Customize Fonts. From this small window, choose Heading and Body Fonts. Give the set a name and save. Now let us move to styles. So, what are styles? Styles are predefined formatting sets for paragraphs and characters, like normal, heading 1, and quote. To use a style, open the Home tab and the Styles gallery. Click a style such as heading 1 to apply it to a chapter title. Use heading 2 and heading 3 for subsections. Applying these built-in styles makes it easy to create a table of contents later. An existing style can be modified. For that, right-click a style in the Styles gallery and choose Modify. Change font, size, color, alignment, and spacing. To update every instance in the document, click OK. If you want this style in future documents, check New Documents based on this template. We can also create a new style from scratch. To do that, open the Styles pane from the Home tab. Click New Style. Give the style a name, choose paragraph or character style type, and set formatting. Click OK to add it to the Styles gallery. If you have already formatted a paragraph or text, you can apply that as a style to the whole document for consistency. After setting theme, colors, fonts, and styles, go to File Save As and choose WordTemplate.dotx. Name the template and save it to use as the starting point for future documents. Let's start with a picture saved on your computer. Go to the Insert tab, click Pictures, and choose this device. Browser for picture on your device. Select your image and click Insert. The picture will appear right inside your document. Now, let's try an online picture. Go again to the Insert tab, click Pictures, but this time choose Stock Images. There are many categories, both premium and free stock images are given. Browse the categories or search in the search bar. Select the image you like, and press Insert. This is a great way to use professional, copyright-free images. Third way to bring image to your document if looking for picture on internet. Go to the Insert tab, click Pictures, and choose Online Pictures. Using Bing search, it would display many categories of pictures. Select the desired picture and click Insert. Once your image is inside Word, you can resize it. Always drag from the corners to keep the proportions correct. If you only drag from the sides, the picture may look stretched or squashed. You can also crop an image. Select the picture, go to Picture Format Contextual tab, and click Crop. Drag the handles to remove unwanted parts. That's how you insert, resize, and crop pictures in Word. Let's go step by step. When you insert a picture into your Word document, you'll notice a small square icon at the top right corner of the image. This is the Layout Options button. Clicking it opens different choices. Let's understand each with examples. The first option is in line with text. By default, every picture is set to this mode. The picture behaves like a piece of text, sitting on the same line. If you type more words, the picture moves with the line. The next option is square. Here, text wraps neatly around the four sides of the picture, forming a clean block. Imagine placing a photo of an apple in the middle of a paragraph. The words automatically wrap around all four edges, creating a neat, professional look. Now, let's try tight. This option makes the text hug the actual shape of the image, not just its rectangular border. For example, if you add a circular logo, the text curves closely around the circle. This looks more natural and stylish, especially with non-rectangular images. Next is through. This is similar to tight, but goes a step further. It lets text flow even through transparent areas of the image. Imagine inserting a ring-shaped clip art. With this option, the text can actually pass inside the hollow part of the ring. It's a great choice for creative designs. Another option is top and bottom. In this case, the text only appears above and below the picture, never on the sides. For example, if you insert a wide banner image, the paragraph above stops before the banner, and the next paragraph continues right after it. This option is perfect for titles, headings, and banners. Now let's look at behind text. Here, the picture goes behind your text, almost like a watermark. For instance, you could place a faint company logo behind the content of a letter. It's often used in flyers, certificates, or official documents. But remember, if your image is too dark, the text may be hard to read. The next option is in front of text. This one places the picture over the text, covering it completely. For example, if you drag a stamp image over a paragraph, the text underneath will be hidden. It's useful for overlapping designs, but not for regular text layouts. With all these options, you can also move and position your picture anywhere on the page. For example, if you're using the square option, you can drag the image to the left or right side, and the text automatically adjusts around it. This is a great way to make your document look like a magazine or a professional report. Let's start with the basics. Go to the Insert tab, click Table, and drag your mouse over the grid to choose how many rows and columns you want. Click, and the table appears in your document. You can make maximum of 7 columns and 6 rows. You can also draw your own table by choosing Draw Table. To do that, click on one corner of the table, don't release the mouse button. Drag it to the other corner and then release the mouse button. Now to draw column, click on the top side of the table and drag it downward to the other border vertically. To make a row, click on left or right border and drag to opposite side. You can also make a table if you have data separated by commas or tabs. Just select the text, go to Insert, Table and click Convert Text to Table, and Word will organize it into columns and rows. Whenever you select a table or the cursor is inside that table, 2 contextual ribbons appear. One is Table Design and the other is Table Layout. We will discuss Layout ribbon in next video. For now, let us explore Table Design. The first thing you'll notice in the Design tab is the Table Style Options group. These checkboxes control how different parts of your table are formatted. For example, Header Row applies special formatting to the first row, making it stand out as a heading. Total Row applies a distinct style to the last row, often used for totals or summaries. Banded rows and banded columns alternate shading between rows or columns, making the table easier to read. You can also highlight the first column or last column to emphasize important data. These options are quick switches that instantly change the look of your table. Next, we move to the Table Styles group. This is where you can apply a complete style to your table with a single click. Word comes with many pre-built designs, combining borders, shading, and colors. Simply hover over a style to preview it on your table and click to apply. This is one of the fastest ways to make a plain table look polished. If you want more control, use the Shading and Borders tools in the Borders group. With shading, you can apply background colors or patterns to selected cells, rows, or the entire table. This is useful for highlighting key information or grouping related data. Borders let you control the lines around your cells. You can choose which borders to apply, adjust line style, thickness, and even color. For example, you might use a thick border around the entire table and thinner lines inside. The Draw Borders section takes it even further. Here, you can manually draw or erase table lines. Select a border style, line weight, and color, then use your cursor to draw new borders directly on the table. This ribbon appears whenever you insert or select a table. Let's begin by creating a sample table. Go to the Insert tab, choose Table, and create 5 columns and 4 rows. Once the table appears, click anywhere inside it. At the top, you'll notice 2 new contextual tabs, Table Design and Layout. For this lesson, we'll focus only on the Layout tab. Type some sample data to work with. In the first row, let's create headers, name, age, country, occupation, and salary. Then, in the rows below, type a few entries like John Smith, 28, USA, software engineer, and so on. This will give us a practical example as we explore the tools. The first group on the Layout ribbon is the Table group. Here, you can quickly select different parts of your table, show or hide grid lines. Grid lines are especially useful when your table has no borders but you still want to see the cell structure. Table Properties opens a dialog box with advanced settings for alignment, text wrapping, and precise row and column sizing. Then we have a Draw group. Click it and you can make a table by drawing it. To do that, click on one corner of the table, don't release the mouse button. Drag it to the other corner and then release the mouse button. Now to draw column, click on the top side of the table and drag it downward to the other border vertically. To make a row, click on left or right border and drag to opposite side. You can combine adjust cells by erasing it with Eraser tool. If something is unnecessary, you can delete it with just one click. This makes adjusting your table structure quick and easy. You can even delete the whole table. If you need more space, you can insert a new row above or below, or insert a column to the left or right. The Merge group is all about combining and separating cells. Merge cells lets you join 2 or more cells into one, often used for section headers. Select the cell you want to merge and then click Merge Cells. Split Cells does the opposite, dividing one cell into multiple rows or columns. And Split Table separates your table into 2 parts, useful when you want different formatting for different sections. Moving on to the cell size group, here you can control the exact width and height of your cells. You can type measurements manually or use the up and down arrows to adjust. The Distribute Rows and Distribute Columns buttons make all selected rows or columns equal size, giving your table a clean, balanced look. AutoFit is also very handy. AutoFit Content shrinks the table to fit the text, AutoFit Window stretches it across the page width, and Fixed Column Width locks the column sizes so they don't change. The Alignment group manages how text is positioned inside cells. You can choose from 9 alignment options, from top left to bottom right, or place text in the exact center. Text Direction lets you rotate text vertically, which is great for narrow headings. Cell margins allow you to add padding inside cells so the text doesn't touch the borders. This improves readability and makes your table look more professional. Finally, the Data group helps when working with larger tables. The Sort option allows you to organize rows alphabetically or numerically based on any column. Convert to Text gives you the option to turn your table back into plain text, separated by tabs or commas. To insert a chart, go to the Insert tab and click Chart. Choose the chart type you want, like column, line, pie, or bar, and click OK. Word will open a small Excel sheet with sample data. Replace the sample data with your own values. Close the sheet, and the chart will automatically update. If your chart looks wrong, you can switch how the data is plotted. Go to Chart Design, switch row or column. To make your chart clearer, add chart elements. Click the plus button on the chart and choose elements like a title, axis labels, data labels, or a legend. You can type directly into the chart title to edit it. You can also change chart types at any time. Go to Change Chart Type and select a different style. You can also change the style of the chart. Select the chart and select a style from Chart Style. The Chart Filter button lets you hide or show certain series without deleting the data. Finally, you can resize and position the chart by dragging the corners. For most documents, keep charts simple and easy to read. Use data labels for clarity and avoid too many colors or effects. Let's begin with shapes. Go to the Insert tab and click Shapes. Select a rectangle, oval, or arrow. Then click and drag on your page to draw the shape. To add text inside the shape, right-click and choose Add Text. You can now type directly inside the shape, just like a text box. To format the shape, click the arrow next to Shape Fill. The first option is No Fill, which removes the color completely. The second option gives you more colors to choose from. The third option is Picture Fill. Browse for a picture, and it will appear inside the shape. You can also experiment with gradients and textures for more creative effects. Now let's try inserting an icon. Go to the Insert tab and select Icons. Your device should be connected to the internet. Search for something like phone or chart, select your favorite icon, and click Insert. Icons are vector graphics, which means you can resize them without losing quality. On the Graphics Format tab, you can also change their color. When you have multiple objects on the page, alignment becomes important. To select all objects, click one shape, hold down the Control key, and click the others. Then go to Align and choose options like Align Center or Distribute Horizontally. You can also group objects so they move as one. Select all the shapes, then choose Group. Now you can drag them together as a single object. If you want to separate them again, select the object, go to Group, and choose Ungroup. Each shape will return to being independent. If you want to arrange objects on top of each other, select the shape you want to adjust, then from the Shape Format ribbon, click the arrow next to bring forward or send backward. Bring forward moves the object up one level, while bring to front places it above all other objects. Now let's explore SmartArt. SmartArt helps you turn plain text into diagrams. Go to Insert, then SmartArt, and choose a category like Process, Cycle, or Hierarchy. Pick a design and insert it. You can type directly into the SmartArt, or use the text pane for easier editing. On the SmartArt Design tab, you can change colors, switch layouts, or add more shapes. This breaks it apart, so you can edit each element individually. With shapes, icons, and SmartArt, you can transform plain documents into engaging visuals that communicate more clearly. These tools make your documents interactive and easy to navigate. I'll show you each step clearly, so you can follow along right now. Let's begin with a simple web link. First, select the text you want to turn into a link. Now, press Ctrl+K. The Insert Hyperlink dialog box will appear. At the top, you can change the text to display. And in the address box, type or paste the website address you want to link to. Click OK. Your text now becomes a clickable link. To open it, just hold Ctrl and click the link. That will open the web page in your default browser. There are also a few alternate ways to add a hyperlink. You can right-click the selected text and choose Link or Hyperlink. Or, go to the Insert tab and click Link from the ribbon. All these methods open the same dialog box. Now, let's create an email link. Select the text, for example Sales Department. Then press Ctrl+K and choose the email address option. Type the email address, for instance, support@example.com. Word will automatically create a mail-to link. When someone clicks this link, their email program opens with the address already filled in. You can even include a subject line. This way, the subject field will be pre-filled in the new email message. Now click the linked address by holding Ctrl key, and the link will the default mail program. You can see the address and subject fields are filled already. Next, let's link to a file on your computer or network. Select the text, press Ctrl+K, and choose Existing File or Web Page. Now browse to the file and click OK. When clicked, the link will open that file directly. However, here's an important warning. If you send this document to someone else, local file links might not work for them. To share safely, upload the file to a cloud service like OneDrive. And link to the cloud URL instead. If you want to learn more about OneDrive, you can watch our OneDrive playlist. Now, let's see how to add a bookmark inside your document. Place your cursor where you want the reader to jump. Go to Insert, then click Bookmark. Type a short, simple name for your bookmark, without spaces. For example, End. Click Add. You've now created an anchor point inside the document. Next, let's link to that bookmark. Select the text that will act as the link. Press Ctrl+K, then choose Place in this document. Scroll down to the Bookmarks section. Select the bookmark you just created and click OK. Now, when someone clicks that text, Word will instantly jump to the bookmarked location.